You can probably hear the relief in our voices. If we had been recording this at our normal time of recording, which is in the morning on Wednesdays, you would have heard fear and probably me still being drunk in my voice. But things have taken a little bit of a turn on Wednesday. So on Tuesday, it was the last day for people to cast their ballots, and the ballot tabulation started. And around, 7 p.m. Eastern, we started getting results in. And the first results we got, like they always are, were bad for Democrats. We had a big red pad of Indiana up on the map. Kentucky, Florida wasn't going our way. Miami-Dade County immediately was like, everybody was freaking out. John King was declaring our terror exciting to him. It wasn't looking very good. And by the time everybody kind of called it a night, there was a lot of stuff that was still up in the air. But here's where we are right now. Joe Biden just got done speaking. It wasn't a victory speech, but it was everything but a victory speech, because it seems like there are very few ways that Joe Biden doesn't win at this point. Michigan has been called for Joe Biden. Wisconsin has been called for Joe Biden. Alyssa and I are both wearing our Wisconsin shirts. A 20,000 vote margin in Wisconsin, which is pretty thin, but Wisconsin Wisconsin historically, though, like, recounts don't really change much. Even Scott Walker
he said
Scott Walker was like, yeah, you can recount the votes, but it's probably going to be the same. And it's funny because Scott Walker is Wisconsin's dumbest bitch, and I guess even a broken.
Yeah,
I know.
I honestly, it's like, why don't we just have Giannis tell us the news, and Scott, you sit everything out forever.
He's close, and there is a chance that by the time you're hearing this, it will be official that Joe Biden has won the 270 electoral votes to be declared the next president. Yeah. I mean, it's like, I feel like clapping and crying at the same time, because this was not fucking fun.
No.
Alyssa, there was other stuff going on besides the presidential race.
Awesome stuff.
Yes. So can you kind of walk us through what else happened last night?
So the predictions and polls telling us that we were not just going to take the Senate, we being Democrats, not just take it, but it would just be by how much. How much were we going to take the Senate? And the House, well, according to pollsters, we were going to pick up at least 15 to 20 seats. No, that's not what happened, you guys. That is not what happened. And up until I started my sidecar about an hour ago, I was not feeling upbeat about anything, because I was actually tragically disappointed about that. But let's go through a little bit of where we are, including specifically some of our favorite Hysteria guests who have been on over the course of this election. I'm going to start with the one that hurts the most. Sarah Gideon in Maine has conceded to Susan Collins. May her frowning chamber have a velvet rope on it now, I guess. I don't know. But Sarah Gideon, and it's very interesting. I don't know if you guys were deep in the weeds on this one, but Maine actually has ranked choice. So the person who was the third party actually had told people to write in Sarah Gideon, not her, as the second choice, in hopes that in the second round, Sarah Gideon could have performed. Not the case. She's conceded. So there's that.
This is where Stephen King gets his horror. You know what I mean? This is why I'm not surprised. This is where the evil lies. We all float down here. Go ahead. Keep going, Lissy.
Wait, don't worry. I'm ready. I'll keep going, Naomi. Good news. Wisconsin for Gwen Moore has won re-election. Yeah. Michigan, our girl Mari Manoogian, who was on last week, has been declared the winner. Gary Peters has pulled ahead for the Senate race. Alabama, Doug Jones, who took really fucking hard votes for us, has lost his seat in the U.S. Senate.
To a mediocre college football coach. Doug Jones.
Mediocre.
Doug Jones, who as a civil rights lawyer prosecuted the guys who bombed the church where those 4 little girls died. Yeah. He was the prosecutor on that. He is a fucking American hero. He lost to a mediocre Auburn coach. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Alabama.
Tommy Tuberville is not even a real name, by the way. That's a name you write into a comedy script.
It's a cartoon.
Yes.
It's a cartoon name.
Yes.
It's totally
of a villain.
I feel like when you become a Southern football coach, you get assigned a Southern football coach name. Like every
Yes,
time
you do. You do.
I'm watching like Netflix, it says skip intro as an option. I think skip intro would be a good college Southern
Yeah.
college
Yeah,
football
yeah.
coach name.
It's the only place where you'll meet so many Dabos, which is quite strange.
This Iowa, very disappointing. Pollsters were telling us, you're crazy. Iowa's going to go blue. Everyone made fun of Ann Seltzer's poll, saying, girl is an outlier. Girl was not an outlier. Teresa Greenfield got clobbered. Joni Ernst is going back to the Senate. Our friend of Hysteria, Abby Finkenauer, was also defeated.
Brutal.
South Carolina, Lindsey Graham goes back to the Senate despite all.
I'm done. I'm
But
done.
the thing that we have to talk about, maybe not today, but at some point, is that I don't know if any Senate race has ever had more money poured into it. It didn't fucking matter. Mark Kelly, it looks like in Arizona, we had reverse coattails here, you guys. Because Mark Kelly is overperforming. He is doing better, actually, than Joe Biden. So it looks like he may have actually helped pull Joe Biden across the finish line in Arizona.
That's good news.
Oh,
good
and
news.
the fun thing is, too, he kind of rode his wife's coattails. I mean, in a good way, but still, it's like a coattail.
He also rode the
We'll take it.
coattails of the spaceships that he's flown
Yes,
around in.
great.
as
Oh,
little
yes,
astronauts.
yes.
Mark Kelly is wearing a Billy Porter type of coattail where
Yeah,
there's just
yeah,
like
yeah,
4
yeah,
or
yeah.
5 different levels going
Yes.
on.
Joseph
Right.
and the Technicolor Dream coattail.
Yes, yes.
That's it. That's it.
Also, history was made in that race in Arizona. Martha McSally becomes the first person to ever lose both Senate seats in her state.
Bye,
Now,
bitch.
Arizona, I know, bye. The heartiest of bye bitches to Martha McSally. I will be eating an extra meal today in celebration of her losing that second Senate seat. She fucking sucked.
I'm definitely going to enjoy a frozen pizza with her name on it. Kentucky, Amy McGrath does not even stand a chance against Mitch McConnell. He has come back with vigor.
What?
Texas, yes.
Yeah.
Why would somebody look at a crypt keeper and say yes 4 more years? This is what I don't understand. Not that Amy is dope, and that's the next thing. A lot of these establishment hoes ain't dope. Yes, I've become query and a rapper. And these establishment hoes ain't dope. These are my fleece furs.
You're a little bit like rapper meets Grey Gardens, but we can get to that.
I've never been so seen. I've never been so seen.
That was not a criticism.
No, I didn't take it as such.
Texas 24, Candace Valenzuela is currently trailing her opponent. It does not look like she's going to pull it out, but we don't know. The squad has been triumphantly reelected.
Yes,
Every
squad.
single member of the squad got over 64%. Pramila Jayapal and Karen Bass, also friends of Hysteria, win their reelection. Christy Smith, running in California 25. She is leading. This is Katie Hill's old seat. She has a slight lead. We're waiting for that race to be called. And Desiree Timms and Marquita Bradshaw in Ohio and Tennessee, who we gave a shout out to last week.
I love her.
they
I
did a
fundraised, honey.
great-
She's the
I
best.
know. I know they did not see victory, but the more that people run, it's just nothing but a good thing.
And you guys, Sarah McBride of Delaware becomes the first transgender state senator in U.S. history.
Yes.
And that is basically our synopsis of like the Hysteria 25.
I came across a pretty disturbing thing today. You know how during the whole like run up to the election, there was this media narrative that was like white women are abandoning Trump, suburban women abandoning Trump. They're forming wine clubs. They're like
Panera moms.
they're gathering in Panera fire pits. They're picking
Pelotoning together.
They're pelotoning in opposition to fascism. No, absolutely not. They're not.
No.
The percentage of white women who voted for Donald Trump in the year 2016 was 53%. The percentage of white women who voted for Donald Trump in 2020 was 55%.
Yes.
Now, 3 of us here are white.
Very, very white.
Very actually, that is accurate. Very.
I'm not even doing Ancestry.com. I know. Those results are in.
They just send you back a saltine cracker and say, get out of here.
They send you back an Ann Taylor gift card and say, call it a
You know
day.
what? It's so funny because I got a little Tupperware thing of potato salad that was unseasoned in response to mine.
They saw you.
Yeah, it's okay. So, Naomi, I don't want to put you totally on the spot, but like, is this result surprising to you? That
Absolutely not, because I do think there has been this narrative, in the Becky and the Karening culturally. I think there has now been this community sense among white women of a certain age that they are persecuted. Wish they were prosecuted. But persecuted, feeling like, people are mad at us. Life's not fair. I don't get to be angry. I think a lot of it is also warped feminism. Women, this sense of like, because I think so many times people will take being mean and bossy and then someone being upset with that is like, you can't stand a woman in charge. It's like, no, I can't stand an asshole. And it's like, so I think those are just kind of some certain cultural things that I think have led to people, has really gotten women behind Trump. Also, it's something Alyssa said last time I was on the show, back when I wore clothes and cared. Alyssa, you were saying like there are so many people who are voting for Trump who don't want to say it. And I think white women are that group. To me, the people who were going to vote for him but kept it silent, those were women of a certain age.
Can I just say I agree with all that. And I also want to say, though, you're welcome, lady, you're welcome. I don't know what it's going to take for white women, though. It's like, bitch, we gave you a white woman last time. We gave you a hot black dude before that.
Yep.
We gave you an established white dude who had all the experience in the world this time. Yeah. What's it going to take? What do you need from us, from the Democratic Party, to give you somebody who you're going to like? I don't know. I don't know what white women respond to, except Trump, I guess? I don't know.
I'm just saying this having been, I'm from a part of a state that did vote blue this time and has in the past voted blue, but my little corner of the state is it's a little rash of racism. It's a red area. And I think that if you spend any time in the middle of the country around women who vote for Trump, one thing that is obvious very, very early is that they have very bad taste in men. Like, have you seen their husbands?
Yes.
Bad husband country prevents sensible voting. I mean, you think even about, like, these two men as human beings. Like, Donald Trump is a thrice married philanderer with 5 kids that we know about publicly, and 1 kid that is, like, a not-so-secret kid that is, like, fodder for gossip in West Palm Beach. Yeah, Alyssa knows. And like, Joe Biden is a dedicated husband, a dedicated family man. He was first sworn into the Senate at the bedside of his son who had just been in a car accident, and he and Jill are clearly so in love. I don't understand why white women are like, I want that asshole. Like, is it, I could change him? Like, what do you think it is, Megan?
God. And like, this one really, it truly baffles me. I was not expecting it. And so then I also feel naive and stupid because I see so many women of color saying, of course, this is what was going to happen. And I think in 2016, it was really easy to go, oh, they listened to their husbands and they voted that way. But now they've seen, and I don't think there's anything that you can point to but it being just sort of systematic, ingrained racism. I think that's it.
Misogyny, and also, I think it's just so, the thing about, I feel like as a country, when I look at other nations that have, actually had revolutions and coups and like gotten together, there doesn't seem to be a sense of America as a community, a family, one nation under God, indivisible. This shit is divisible as hell. Okay. And it feels like, I think women, because what I would love to know about that 55% is the economic breakdown the same.
And the education is...
But even economics, and you don't need a degree. Yeah. Some of these bits, like you work in heating and cooling, how do you have 5 homes?
Of course.
But you own a car dealership.
Exactly. But I think I guess I say that to say, I think a white woman of a certain economic bracket feels like they ain't got to think about anybody else. And I think a big part of a lot of this election in particular, this is a team effort. This is not necessarily about us individually. Even all of us sitting here talking, even like Grace and I as two women of color, we're doing fine, right? And even so, it's like, this is about help. Like, we need to just get out of a burning building right now as a nation. And I think these women who were like, I'm by the pool. I don't feel the fire.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
I think you can also, unfortunately, because I thought you were going to say the other end of the economic bracket. I think when you get down to the lower half, there's also people saying, why am I in this situation? And Trump speaks to that in a very fucked up way, but he's like, you've been wronged and I'm going to unwrong it for you. Everyone's coming for you. And so you really only kind of have this middle section of white women to target then.
But why didn't they come and help Lizzie? Like, when Lizzie Warren was out here being like, we're going to give you childcare, we're going to help you like work. She was speaking to that. She was speaking to that level as well, and they were like,
then
"No,
they just
thank
don't.
you."
They don't like it from a woman. I mean, then you're seeing it's this true like chicken or the egg, but shit fest of like, okay, we'll give it to you, but you don't like the packaging, and we'll give you the packaging, but you don't like the message, and so there is no perfect candidate. We got to stop searching for them, and in some ways, it's like, listen, we got to maybe leave some Megans behind.
Yeah.